Boomer Sooner, live at Moody's Country Store and Barbecue. Welcome to the OU Huddle on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Also brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Moody's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Now, here's the voice of the Sooners, Toby Rowland.
No Toby Rowland tonight. Toby is getting ready for a trip to the SEC men's basketball tournament. My name is Chris Plank sitting in, and we are pumped to start this thing off by talking about Nick Kroll's men's tennis team. So take a moment to welcome the head men's tennis coach, Nick Kroll, to the stage. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. It seems wild. I was going through all my notes, and it says 9th year at Oklahoma. How is that possible?
Goes by fast.
That's crazy, isn't it? And we're going to meet Bruno, who became an internet sensation when everyone wanted him to play tight end, coming up here in just a bit. No pressure. But Alejandro Malero, who is a freshman on the team. Welcome, man.
Yeah.
How's
thank
it
you
going?
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good to be here. Right in the middle of the season, man. They're like, hey, hold on, go do some TV right in the middle of practice. Well, Nick, first of all, tell us a little bit about Alejandro and kind of what's stood out with him this year.
Well, he came in January. He was him and Orel Kimmy both came in January, and when you bring guys in mid-year, there's a lot of change for these guys coming all the way across the ocean and the world, and so he's done an amazing job blending in with the team. I think he's been here almost 2 months now, 7 or 8 weeks, and so he's doing great. He works hard every single day at practice. He's got a great record. Him and Asahi Harazaki, I think, are 8-1 or 9-1 in doubles right now, and they've really been blossoming down there, and he's in his singles games coming along too. So we're just excited to continue to see him grow.
Well, tell me a little bit as we kick off the huddle. And our opening segment, as always, is brought to you by Community Coffee, the official brewed coffee of OU Athletics. Taste the difference family makes. Alejandro, tell us a little bit about your path. How did you end up here at Oklahoma, and really what got you going in the sport of tennis?
Well, it's a long story. I was practicing.
Hey, we got 10 minutes, man. So you take all the time you want.
No, I was practicing in Barcelona, and I stopped practicing there. Then Axel Alvarez, that he was playing here at OU, contact Nick, and like some weeks later he contacted me. We had a call. I really like the project. Also, they care about me, and I said,
boom,
let's go. Yeah.
Let's do it.
When did you first know that you had this talent? When did you identify, hey, tennis is a sport for me? Did you have family that played it? Kind of what was it that really stood out about it?
I mean, tennis, I started playing tennis for my fitness coach of the middle high school. Like I was like,
that's wild.
I didn't know tennis at all. Like I was playing soccer at home, and I was a goalkeeper, so I didn't expect to touch a racket in my life, but here I am.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, well, it's worked. Nick, you talked about the tie to a former Sooner. It's a global sport, right? You're bringing in people from all across the country. So when you have those guys who played for you and competed for you, it's got to help to identify talent like Alejandro.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we were watching Alejandro for a few years on the international circuit. He was round of 16 of the Junior Wimbledon. He played all the Grand Slams. He was as high as 17 in the world. He's a super humble guy. He would never say that, but he was one of the best juniors in the world. And when we heard about him looking to go to college, we were super excited. We had seen him play a lot, and we knew he would fit in nicely here. We've had a long line of Spanish players. Alex Martinez last year, Axel Alvarez, Ferran Calvo. So there's just been a lot of great Spanish guys, and we wanted to keep the tradition.
Hey, and for you, the idea of playing college tennis, when did it first become something you thought or realized could become a reality for you?
I mean, when I was in Barcelona, like the last months that I was there, I was like thinking, like, should I go to college? It would be nice. Also, a couple of my friends that they went to, for example, to Gators or TCU.
Right.
They told me like they have the idea to go there. So I was wondering, like, should I go? Should not?
It worked out. What's been the difference, or is there a difference? It's tennis, right? It's the same. The surface might be different. Clay acts different than grass, so on and so forth. But as far as the game, what's different about the game you played internationally to what you're playing now in the SEC and in college? Anything?
I mean, it's different to play like international tournaments like futures, because when you're arriving to like deuce point, in future tennis you play with advantage, and here in college you play only like deuce point. So it means like in the 40-40, or you win that point, or you lose the game.
Right.
It's not any advantage. So for me, that's the difference. And
there's no advantage on 40-40 in the international game?
Yeah, well, no, in the international game, they're playing with advantage. And,
okay.
And so we're playing,
okay, my bad.
We're playing deuce point, so there's a lot of pressure that rides on these points, and these matches can swing one way or the other pretty quickly. And so I think what he's saying is there's a little bit more pressure on those deuce points, and you got to be ready to step up and take it.
I couldn't even fathom that, right? you played a whole way where it's like, okay, we're at 40-40, they got an advantage, they got to beat me another time. Now
it's only,
you got to go.
Yeah.
And they kind of just take us through the recruiting mindset that you have, because it is global. You count on former players, but in the same vein, you have these international tournaments where you can find guys like obviously Bruno and Alejandro. What's that process been like for you?
Yeah, you know, for us, we're trying to win a national championship, and so we're looking for the best players around the globe, and whether it's an American or a Spanish player, or so we have guys from 9 different countries on our team, and most of these guys have been number one ranked player in their country. You know, top ITF junior player, and so they've played all over the globe. And so, you know, we're looking for these guys that want to come in and be great teammates, have good character, work hard, and be a Sooner. You know, we want guys that want to be Sooners. And so, Malero here, we call him Mele. He came on a visit in June, and we had an unbelievable time. Bruno was here as well for his visit, and yeah, I thought we all just meshed really well. And I think when he left here, he wanted to be a Sooner.
It's awesome. And I imagine Norman's just like Barcelona, right? Everything is
it's so similar.
What was the culture adjustment like for you? And not only moving to a college town, but coming to the United States?
I mean, for me, it's quite difficult because it's not my first language, like the English. And it's tough, you know. And also in Barcelona, you have different times. You eat at different times as here. You wake up a little bit earlier than here, or sooner. It depends. I don't know. It's different. Also, the weather is different, and I don't know. I'm getting used to it, but I love it.
How did you, if you don't mind me, how'd you learn English? What kind of led you down that road? Are native Spanish?
No, yeah. I'm from Mallorca, and when I was in Mallorca, I was practicing like in an international club, and I have to practice my English because most of the players that were there, they were speaking in English. So
really?
Yeah. And I was in Mallorca, like in Spain. It's
completely different world, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, welcome to the States. Oh, and by the way, you're going to start college classes, so it's going to be a whole different world for you. But what has that balance been like for you?
No, very good.
Very good? Good.
Yeah,
Man,
very good.
That's great to hear. The school balance can sometimes be tough, but
yeah, it's tough also because I don't like too much to study. Like sometimes it's bored. But I mean, you have to do it, you have to push yourself, and you have to go for everything, inside the court and outside the court. So.
Coach Nick Kroll is with us from the OU men's tennis team. Alejandro Mele. I can call you that now, right?
Yeah,
very cool. We just became best friends. Nick, tell me about the season so far, because we just came in hot, and I didn't really have an opportunity to talk about what was, you know, a great one over Florida.
That's right.
And then a hard-fought one down in Starkville with Mississippi State, but 10-4 right now. 3-2 in SEC play. How do you feel about where this team is right now?
Yeah, I think we're growing every day. I think we're continuing to play better and better tennis. I still think our best tennis is still ahead of us, and so we've just got this mindset to keep getting better and do the right things on the court, off the court, like Mele just said. And yeah, we had a great win against Florida. It feels like yesterday, but it was about 3 or 4 days ago. And you know, we literally won that match, and then I think we finished at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. The next morning, 6 a.m., we're on a flight to Starkville. Takes us about 8 or 9 hours to get there. Then we practice at 8 p.m. We wake up the next morning and play Mississippi State at noon, and then we're back on a flight here. So it's like it goes by really, really fast in the SEC. And every match is going to be a war. We know that. There's so many good teams in the SEC, and it's just who plays the best on that day.
You know, it's all new to us in the SEC, and it's all new to you too. So what have you seen from the caliber of player that you've seen in the SEC week in and week out?
I mean, I saw that there is a very high level. I didn't expect this level, but I mean, it's something that I prepare for it's something that I practice for all my entire life, so it doesn't like surprise me at all. But I mean, I'm ready for give everything for the team. He's pushing me so much, and that's good. In the bad days, in the good days, and that's the most important thing.
So it's impressive, man. You know, Bruno went viral with his Twitter shot. They were trying to get him to walk on a football. Okay, you're 6'6". You're the tallest tennis player. Has Porter? Can he shoot too? Bruno says you got a shot. So has Porter Moser been knocking on your door? I mean, is Nick Kroll having to get the coaches out of the locker room? I mean, 6'6" with your size, man, that'd be a nice little perimeter jumper. No?
Yeah.
He can knock it down. Hey, real quick before we let you get out of here, tell me a little bit about this team. You got a great double partner. You guys have meshed real well together. How are you feeling about the way this team is coming together?
I mean, I'm feeling with Asahi. I'm feeling very good. First at the beginning, like I was struggling playing with him because we didn't know each other and we didn't talk too much at the beginning when I came here at January. But I mean, now I think we have a very good connection and we go for more and more.
Is that one of the bigger adjustments for guys sometimes, Coach, is the doubles because they work so hard on the singles side of things, or has it been pretty natural?
You know, I think Asahi's been a great doubles player for us now for 2 years, and we knew Mele played really, really good doubles. He had some great pro doubles results, and so we really wanted to get him into our lineup, and so we tried him out with Asahi. Now Asahi's from Japan, and his English isn't amazing. You know, he understands pretty well. It's getting better, but I think they had to kind of learn how to communicate with each other, and once they did that, they've really started to really click.
Great stuff. Alejandro, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Great debut.
Thank you.
When we come back, Bruno Nevin's going to join us up here on the stage. Nick Kroll continues to talk a little OU men's tennis. You're inside the Huddle live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Stick around.
The Huddle is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The Trails Golf Club of Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more.
All right, welcome back to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. It is the Huddle. And, of course, it's brought to you in part by Air Comfort Solution is the Huddle tonight, your home total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. We're talking about Nick Kroll's OU men's tennis team coming off a challenging weekend, big win over Florida, then a tough road trip out to Starkville, fall to Mississippi State. A lot of big matches coming up that we'll talk about. But before we do, please welcome Bruno Nevin to the stage here at Rudy's. Welcome, Bruno. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
No, we're pumped to have you. First and foremost, take me through how the season's going for you. Obviously, it's exciting. It's intense. It's a different level. How's it felt for you?
Well, it's been a roller coaster. You know, we've been working hard since the fall for this amazing start to the SEC and the indoor season. And I think, you know, we're still coming up as a team. We're growing every day, young team, but we're doing great and we're so excited. We just love competing. I think Coach can agree with us that we just love competing as a team. So I'm very excited for what we have coming next, and hopefully we achieve our goals as a team.
Yeah, and you said it, Coach Kroll, whenever Bruno came up here. Humble guy, unassuming. Kind of take me through what's kind of stood out about his development.
I mean, really everything. I think he does great in everything he does. He was actually voted captain as a first year guy here. He has the respect of his teammates. Does everything right on the court, off the court. He works hard every day. He's got a big tennis game. He's probably serving over 130 miles an hour. He's putting bouncing overheads over the fence and doubles, and he can just do some things that most people can't. You can't really teach it. But some of the things that we can teach him, he's really taken on, and he's really coachable, and everything about him is really stood out.
Bruno, what drew you to Oklahoma? Obviously, like Crowley College, and then you came from overseas in Mozambique. So kind of take us through that path to end up here in Norman. What landed you with the Sooners?
So I come from Mozambique, right? And tennis is not a big sport there, and there's not a lot of opportunities.
Well, then let me jump in there.
All right.
Then how'd you get started?
So my family, from my dad's side, they all play tennis. My aunt, she was a top 30 juniors back in the days. So tennis just runs in the blood. And I used to go as a kid to watch my dad play tournaments. And I just grabbed the racket and loved it and never stopped. So at 13, I got the opportunity to leave my country and join the ITF Center, the International Tennis Federation Center in Morocco. And there I got to develop my tennis and play more tournaments, obviously because tennis is an expensive sport. So they were helping finance my travelings and get enough points to go overseas. But I always knew I wanted to go to college sometime. And obviously living so many years without my family, I had to go back home and, just feel loved again. And I stayed there for quite a long time, and I couldn't go D1 straight forward. So I went to junior college for 2 years. And after that, I just knew I had to work hard.
That's awesome.
I had to work hard to get to where I wanted to be. And as soon as I got a text from coach here and, got into the call, I think it took, 1 day, 2 days, and
yeah,
I
it happened pretty quick.
Yeah, I just knew that this is the place. Coach is very competitive. He wants to win, and he just wants to do everything it takes to win. And I'm with that, So as soon as coach talked to me, I knew this is the place I wanted to be.
But tell me how you discovered him, Coach Kroll. Take me through.
Well, we were keeping up with him in the junior college ranks. He was a national champion, I think 3-time national champion, once as a team, the team championship, 2-time doubles championship, and so we had our eye on him for a long time. And then our assistant coach called Manny Raga. Manny was the head coach at Cali as well, and he coached Bruno for 1 year. And, Manny was really telling us all about Bruno and what a good player he was, but even more importantly, like what a great person he was and how he could come in and help lead our team. And so everything's been true on that. And so we're just excited to keep going with Bruno.
Where have you seen his biggest development?
I think in the leadership, he's been a great leader, but I think just learning more and more about leadership, communication, I think it's even at a higher level here. And so even like how to manage the guys on the team, the differences between the guys and trying to get everybody to bond and all that kind of stuff. So there's been a lot of growth.
Was that inherent? Was leadership something that you were always comfortable with? Did you have to learn how to find your voice? What was that process for you like Bruno in becoming more of a leader?
Like I said, because since I was young, like it was very tough for me because I lived far from my family. So as a person growing, I just always loved to help people around me because sometimes I could relate with what they were feeling. So I think that's where my leadership comes in, from just wanting to help people grow and help people feel okay with whatever it is that they're going through. But definitely I've been learning a lot. I go have lunch with coach and the other coaches almost every week and just learn from them, like how to become a great leader for my teammates.
Well, I think one thing, and we're going to show it here, is the pre-game huddle. All right, so you got to take us through this. What was the genesis of it? It's awesome whenever you see you guys are huddled up. Now, out of nowhere, here comes Bruno, kind of similar to what you'll see. Hey, Bruno, where'd he come from? But take me through the kind of the pre-game hype sway and kind of what led to it.
Well, so I think it's just tradition, We haven't changed anything that has been going on for the past years. It's just tradition, keep making our alumni happy and proud of us. So just carry it on and don't change anything. And maybe Bruno comes out with more energy, right. I don't know, but nothing changes.
Seems like something everyone seems to feed off too, right, Coach?
Right,
yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think when he brings the energy, everybody feels it. And so that's one of the things that we talk to him about is just every day coming with that vibe and the look in his eye and the bounce in his step. And, we got 2 vibe guys. I actually brought both of them, Mele and Bruno. So these guys, it's part of their job is to bring that vibe every day.
And Coach Gasso last year had 2 seniors, and she called them her chaos coordinators. Mm-hmm. So these guys are like your director of vibes, your chaos coordinators,
That's right. They both really like music. Yeah. I would say our team really likes music. Colo, Bruno, they're making a lot of music behind the scenes. In fact, some of the music they make, we play in our warm-up matches.
Really?
Yeah. The stuff's really, really good. And, Colo was on the show last year talking with Toby a little bit about it. But these guys are really, really talented. not just on the tennis court, but in all areas.
Well, let's launch the music career. Tell me about your music taste, kind of what got you, what genre? I mean, what are we missing out on here?
I mean, I would say hip hop. That's what we do. But
Nice.
it's very different. It's not really hard rap. It's
Gotcha.
just things that we feel.
Do you play an instrument or do you just sing and rap?
Well, as a kid, I did play the guitar in the school
Okay.
band. Yeah.
Do we have enough guys, Coach Kroll, where we can start like the OU men's tennis band? I mean, do we have a guitarist and a drummer where we can get this thing going? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, I do want to talk one more thing virally before we get people fired up about the rest of the schedule. What did you think of the reaction to OU football fans whenever the tweet went out and everyone lost their mind? If you missed it, we got a shot of it. And then you said, "Get out here and I'll walk on for football." Now, you were obviously you were kidding a little bit, but what was your reaction to the crazy reaction that fans had when they saw you?
I was super surprised. I remember we had to play Cornell the next day. And I was like, oh, I turned off my notifications because I couldn't sleep. It was just every second my phone was just buzzing, and I was like, look, I got to get some rest. So I turned off my notifications until I got to the locker room right before the match. And it was great. I mean, I just love the way the fans appreciate us. That's one thing I love about being a Sooner is that, even though I'm far from home, they make me feel like I'm at home just because it's very special when we walk into the indoor facilities or our court facilities, and then we have so many fans out there supporting us and wanting us to do good. And, the fans are the reasons why it's very difficult for opponents to play us at home. So they play a big part of the sport for us as well, So it was amazing. And I can't wait to have more fans come out and support us throughout the season.
2.2 million impressions, not bad. Well, Bruno led into it, Coach. It's a big stretch coming up. The SEC is no joke, but got to have great crowds. The price is awesome. It's free. And fans can make a big difference. The courts have been redone out there. It's a great atmosphere, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. We just started playing on the new facility. Just incredible upgrades, about 1,000 new seats. You can sit behind the court now looking down on the outdoor, and new locker rooms for these guys, new lounges, new training areas. And so some of those areas haven't opened. They're going to open in the next week or two. But what's been going over there is incredible. Our schedule coming up is really, really tough at home.
Well, let's look at it here real quick while you're talking about it. And the upcoming schedule is presented by the Trails Golf Club in Norman. Trails Golf Club in Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more. And yeah, I'd say that's challenging, Coach.
Yeah, we've got Auburn coming up here in a few days. We worked really hard today and tomorrow getting ready, and then we're on a plane Wednesday. And then we've got South Carolina, so we'll go back-to-back there, and then we get to come home and play Georgia. Georgia's been one of the best programs historically in college tennis, and so to have them on our home courts for the first time is really exciting. And then we got Ole Miss and Alabama, and then we finish up. We'll have Texas and LSU down the road at home as well. So I think we've got 3 more at home, 6 on the road, so 9 to go in the SEC.
Yeah, and then in our final minute here, Coach, we've been blessed to talk about it on our radio show a couple of times this season, but boy, SEC has been no joke. I mean, as advertised. Big 12 was tough, but seems like it's another different level for the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, day in and day out, it's going to be a war. We know that. We've talked to our guys about it, and we just got to keep gearing up for each match. We got to keep getting better each day and improve as we go out throughout the season, and hopefully at the end we're raising a trophy.
Bruno, thanks, man.
Thank
really
you.
Awesome. Coach Kroll, thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you bringing your guys out. This segment's been brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Skip Johnson joins us on stage next, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. It's The Huddle.
Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Sooner Kids Club, presented by OG&E. And brought to you in part by Orthodontics exclusively, Mathis Home, and Devon Energy. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's The Huddle, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Say hello to the head baseball coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, one Skip Johnson. What's going on, Coach?
How are you doing?
It's good
Thanks
to
for
see
the
you, man.
opportunity.
It's good to see you.
We had a lot of people walk out when I came in, but
that's not true. That's not true. Don't. I asked you this when you came in, just because I'm always curious. I know everyone hates having to play doubleheaders. But there was no way we could have played on Saturday. I mean, that was rough, wasn't it? You guys made the right call.
I think we needed to get more rain instead of playing a doubleheader.
Great.
And God knew that, so He took care of that. So that's a great thing. I know I needed rain where I hunt, so all the ponds were getting about empty, and the fishing's starting to get good. So Mondays and the days off are going to be really good.
Good. And that rain Saturday helped it. By the way, this segment is brought to you by Taco Mayo. Big appetite, bigger savings. Download and save today. Just from a philosophy perspective, are you a bigger fan if you have to play two? Would you rather play it on Friday or Saturday? Well, the weather's going to determine it, but would you rather start the weekend or end it with the doubleheader?
End it because we usually play a midweek game, and so it'll probably help our pitching. The hardest thing for playing a doubleheader is because they're out there for so long. You don't get to practice that long. You know, it's like a kid I had in the bullpen early in the season. Was a freshman, and he picks his leg up, and he throws a fastball, and he gets 2-0 on the hitter. Then all of a sudden he slide steps. He's trying to trick the guy. I'm like, have you practiced that? And he's like, no. I was like, I like the idea of you not doing it, you know, of trying to trick the guy, but also I would rather for you to practice it, you know.
Right.
And I was like, you know, it's like Michael Jackson walking into a concert. You think he's going to start, you think all of a sudden he's going to play Amarillo by morning instead of Beat It? You know? So I'm like, I mean, you know, you don't get to practice that long, so the doubleheaders are really, you worry about guys getting injured. You worry about a lot of different things, so it's pretty tough.
I like it. Hey, you want to try something out? Let's not do it in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
the first time you've ever done it. Hey, we ended up playing the game on Friday. Had gorgeous weather on Friday, and boy, this Sam Houston State team, they don't mess around. It's a good team. It's a good challenge. And Kyson Witherspoon, I mean, what more can you say? You got 5 strong from him, only allowed a hit, and struck out 12. I know that it's been fun to see him really get off to the great start.
Yeah, he struck at 10 at one time in a row. I was like,
yeah.
I was sitting there, and you know what's funny is you get in that rhythm, and all of a sudden he had a little hiccup in the 5th or 6th inning there, and I don't know if he was not used to striking them out because he started really trying hard to strike them out instead of just getting with the only thing you can control is throwing the ball to the target.
Right.
You know, and so that happens. It gets him out of rhythm, and he's got to, you know, take it one pitch at a time and throw the ball to the target. You can't control if they get a hit or not. It's easy for me to say. It's hard to live, and it's hard for fans to understand. Hey, just throw the ball to the target. Your stuff is your stuff that day. You can't not let them get a hit. You actually want them to hit the ball because you throw less pitches. So I mean, then there's 7 guys playing behind you.
I'll tell you one thing that I've thoroughly enjoyed about this team is the never-ending ability of creating chaos. So we could sit here and talk pitching all day long, and I'm going to try to. But I wanted to take a moment to talk about the offense and what you've empowered Reggie Willits to do with this offense and how this. By the way, I think we're in the midst of. I was about to say I thought we were in the midst of the 10 strikeout run there, but you get the out, and I think that was his final inning. Yeah, ball game there. This now moves to the Sunday doubleheader. But I want to talk a little bit about the freedom and the power you give Reggie to run this offense and how you've seen this team truly embrace it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is he's really good at what he does. And I think the freedom of him not to look over his shoulder saying, hey, I made the wrong decision, I made the right decision. It doesn't matter. Just make a decision. And if the guys understand it and they're clear, it's really clarity. It's what it is more than anything to understand what we're trying to do. Really what chaos really means to us is we're going to do something at any time and not have fear of retribution. I mean, you could lose the game, you could win the game, but you can't be afraid just to go at it. And that's the biggest thing that I see with chaos as much as anything. Just go right at them and let the chips fall where they may fall.
Anything about this team? And again, we're watching the highlights from the first of 2 games on Sunday right now on the TV side of things. Skip, anything about this team surprise you so far this year?
Nothing ever really surprises me anymore, good or bad. I mean, in our world that we live in today, I think this team plays with a unique passion. When they play with a lot of passion, when they're fired up for each other, it's amazing what they can do. Some of them, it's like, for an example, I know I hate to keep talking about Kyson, but yesterday we're throwing a bullpen with a freshman, and we're working on shortening his arm stroke, right? And I got a friend that's in town that I coached junior college baseball with. His son was actually the left fielder for Sam Houston State. And so I worked with the kid, and all of a sudden Kyson's sitting there. You know, he starts talking to him, and then he gets out there and starts working with him. That's true leadership, man. You know, that's true leadership. And I get kind of emotional about it, because that's what we're really trying to do. Is we're really trying to teach these young men to be leaders, good fathers, good husbands. That's what we're really teaching them for. I mean, we talk about winning and losing, but it's not really about winning and losing to me. It's about coaching. It's about teaching the young man to be a good person, you know, and to represent something that's bigger than you, and that's the University of Oklahoma.
That's awesome.
You know,
that's awesome. You guys can clap for that. That's amazing, because you see it in your guys. I can say that. You know, I've been blessed through the relationship with One Oklahoma. We've had a chance to interview a lot of your guys, and there's not a turd in the group. I think I can say that. You know, they all seem like they're really good dudes, and that they've embraced what you've challenged them with. So
yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's hard to. You know, we have some discipline things. I think discipline is the intent to do the right thing, even though it's uncomfortable in a world today where in baseball you look at it, a lot of guys, they have facial hair and they have long hair and stuff like that. It's just something that we do. I mean, it's we try to play hard, try to run hard 90s. The game will make you feel sorry for yourself. It'll make you hold your head down, and you just got to keep prying at, prying at it, and stay with your confidence. You're trying to build their confidence every day in some form or fashion.
Do you like the way your team was challenged at times this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you never – 27 outs is 27 outs, or 21 outs or 21 outs. You never know at the end of the game. I mean, Crooks I looked at that video that just showed today. Crooks said, man, I made a really good pitch. The fact it was supposed to be a changeup down and away, not changeup down and in the nitro zone. You know, so I'm like, you never know. I mean, it's 27 outs. Yeah. Everybody really don't believe it. I mean, you got to get 27 outs to win a baseball game, and so you never know what's going to happen.
You know, I think we're going to have one of the players. Easton's going to come up here with us in our next segment. So I wanted to spend our final couple of minutes reminding everyone how important it is to juice that home field environment.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have done some awesome things this year with the with the right field, Section 405. I think that's awesome. I think that's going to be a big difference maker. Some cool fan amenities. You saw the commitment this offseason from the university, which is great to see, and the new parts of the facilities that are coming, Skip. And this is kind of a way to bridge that, right? But, I mean, we need to pack Mitchell Park, you know, and it's going to be a big time different feeling in the SEC.
Well, I'm anxious to see on this weekend, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when we go into South Carolina, to see how our guys respond in a big environment. I think we've played at Dell Diamond was probably one of the biggest environments we played in so far. We played pretty good. It's just to see in a different environment, see if they can be in control of themselves one pitch at a time. Because you get so big environment, and they might chase a pitch out of the zone. They might not deal with it pitch to pitch, even though we practice it. We practice those things. We practice being in control one pitch at a time. We practice breathing. We practice release when something bad happens to you. An umpire might mess a call up. They might make an error behind you, vice versa. We practice those things. Now let's see if we can do it in a big arena this weekend. It's going to be packed there. I mean, I've been in arenas like that where you're walking in the field and they're throwing stuff at you, spitting on you and everything else. And so I think the home field environment will help our kids. It shows that our community has pride.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing, is it shows the community has pride in a product that we've been pretty good at really fortunate in the last 5 years. So I'm really excited about that.
I am too. Got a midweek coming up against Louisiana Tech that we'll talk about. The Sooners have won 14 of their 15 games this season, and South Carolina is no slouch, man. That's a good program. Yeah. We'll talk about it when we come back. Easton Carmichael's going to join us. You're inside the huddle with Skip Johnson. We're talking OU baseball right here live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Stick around.
The Huddle is brought to you by Taco Mayo. Big appetite, bigger savings. Download and save today. Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today.
All right, welcome back to our final segment of the Huddle, and we got a very special guest joining, Skip Johnson, talking OU baseball. Please say hello to OU Legacy, Easton Carmichael. Welcome up, man. How's it going? How you feeling?
Good, man. Thank you
Good.
for having me.
This segment is brought to you by Air Comfort Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. How's the season going for you? I'm looking here at the numbers. I mean, are you a numbers guy? Do you look at your stats?
I mean, yes and no, but
Okay.
you try not to, obviously.
Coach is right there, so I don't know if he'd get mad at you
try
or not.
not to. I mean, it's always
but
on the big screen, though.
320. It's going to pop up, or you're going to see it before you hit. 321 average, which amongst the regular starters is in the top 10 right now. 11 extra base hits, leads the team with 5 home runs so far this season, 17 runs batted in. How's it feeling at the plate?
It's good. It's gotten better. I mean, it's once I kind of get over the hump of initial season starting and the initial jitters. I mean, you gotta just take it one pitch at a time, like he always says. And kind of once you really dive into that, it's gotten way better. And I'm just really focused on trying to get wins.
Going to watch you rake here a little bit. And while you watch those highlights, Skip, where have you seen the biggest growth in Easton over the last couple of seasons?
Probably his leadership as much as anything, his unwillingness to help his teammates out more so than anything, and his unselfishness to. I mean, he played first base yesterday for the first time.
How'd that go?
And we turned a 3-6-1 double play. I hadn't turned one since 2010 at Stanford.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little different world over there first, right?
It is a little different. I got to play a little bit this summer. I mean, it's fun, but it's not catching.
So I know that you can't tell by my athletic prowess. I used to be a catcher, and catchers always wanted to play first base. So had it always been something for you, or no?
Yes, I mean
because it seems like they're supposed to be more athletic at first base, right? They forget about us beyond the plate.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I mean I've always kind of had it in the back pocket, but
Nice.
I hadn't really had to touch it really. I mean until about high school. But I got to play a lot in the summertime, which was awesome. Just to kind of give me some rest back there during the summer, and then when I kind of came back from winter break. We thought it was a potential idea, and Reggie and Russell have done a really good job with me over there, and so that's been it's fun to obviously finally get over there. But yeah, it was definitely something that I was looking forward to.
Yeah, and Skip, what does it say about a guy's versatility? That hey, you know where you can count on him behind the plate. If you got a DH, we can do that. But first base, I mean, let's
I think that Easton, when he moves on and plays in pro ball, he's going to have a lot of different avenues. He could go to the outfield. He's a lot like, I'm trying to think of the catcher that caught in the big leagues with Kansas City, and I mean the guy was a right-handed hitter just like Easton. I mean Easton's really athletic and steal bases, and so I think he can go anywhere. I think it also does add some versatility from the scouts' eyes for sure, because they're sitting there getting run times on him, and he can go first to home to steal bases at any time, which is just going to help. It helps our offense a lot.
Are we going back like 80s Royals, like John Wathan? Is that how far
No,
back?
he's got a book, actually.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Look it up.
Russell? No. I'll think maybe
we could do this all day, talk old 80s baseball players if you wanted to. How have you felt about the way the team has come together? It's been a hot start. You guys are playing well. Heading out to South Carolina, no joke against the Gamecocks this weekend. How do you feel about things, Easton?
I feel really good. I mean, I love the team where we're at. I think we've grown a lot. Obviously, you can look at record and whatnot, but I look at it from an internal aspect. I mean, I feel like we've really grown, and guys have really kind of stepped into their roles and understand what they're trying to do. I mean, I think that's going to be the biggest thing during SEC play is guys understanding their roles. I mean, you can only be as good as your weakest link, and if you have kind of somebody who's toxic per se, I mean, it's gonna hurt your team or your team chemistry. So I mean, like understanding your role and getting that is going to be really crucial going into this thing, and I think that has really gotten better as we've gotten going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun to watch. By the way, speaking of fun to watch, there's some big games coming up. We mentioned the midweek skip of the upcoming schedule presented by Trails Golf Club of Norman, where you'll experience everything you love about golf and more. South Carolina, Ray Tanner, their legendary head coach, is their AD. He's retiring. He goes and gets a national champion coach to take over out of retirement. They lost their series against Clemson, but they played well beyond. What are you expecting out in Columbia?
I mean, they're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to play with passion. I mean, Coach Beneri is a good coach. They kept their assistant coach that they had, and they have some good players returning. It'll be a fun atmosphere. We'll see if we can take it one pitch at a time. But we're not going to look to South Carolina before we look at
Thank you.
Louisiana Tech, because
right.
Louisiana Tech is really good.
That's right.
I mean, last Tuesday we got our teeth kicked in at EBU. I mean, the wind's blowing 70 miles an hour. It's about 30 degrees. I mean, it was incredible. The pitch clock was, I don't know who was running the pitch clock, but it might have been Ray Charles. But, I mean, it was incredible. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, they're going to come in. Lane Burroughs does a great job, and I think they went to a regional the last 3 out of 4 years. Yeah. So it'll be interesting going forward.
Hey, Easton, I only got about 30 seconds, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about the family ties from your dad to your brother. What is it a little different for you when it comes to being a Sooner?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this place is home. I mean, I've never really wanted to go anyplace other than in Oklahoma. And so, yeah, the ability to play here under him, but also to continue the family legacy is definitely an honor for sure.
Man, Skip, I cherish every moment I get to talk to you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't
Thanks for coming on. Easton, you're the man. Appreciate you, buddy.
It.
How about that? OU baseball. Get out. Soonersports.com/tickets. They got big ones coming up, and that SEC schedule is awesome. We'll be back to wrap up the Huddle next.
Thank you to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola.
Hey, thanks for joining us out here at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. We're just getting started. Round 1, the Huddle in the books. Thanks to Skip Johnson. Thanks to Easton Carmichael. How great were the tennis players that we had out here. Awesome job. Coach Nick Kroll's got a big-time schedule coming up, so make sure to get out and support them all. Final segment is always brought to you by Didier Ranch. Didier Ranch, tradition tastes better. I don't know if you all noticed this, but Oklahoma went to Austin and beat Texas in college hoops. When we come back, Tyler Neal and I will break down the big win for the Sooners, and we'll talk about Ginny B's women's team and Sooner Sports Talk. Don't go anywhere.
The OU Huddle has been brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. And by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.